The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue.
Hello and welcome to this week's video. After going collecting some mounts for my commissions customer last week and doing this quick sketch at Big Waters, I shared this in an Instagram reel. I decided, because I had a couple of days off this week because it's half term, I decided to go along to Big Waters and I took you with me, so this is what I got up to. Just getting ready to go along to Big Waters again to do some sketching, and I thought I would take all of my pencils out of here. I had all of my just graphite pencils in here, and I've put some light coloured felt pens and some coloured pencils in there, and just one fine liner and one pencil. So I'm going to take those and do some maybe dry materials, but I have got my watercolours and I've got 4 sketchbooks. Hope that's going to be enough. Back at Big Waters, it's well, the sun is out, it's probably a little bit warmer, but it's a little bit more breezy, and I think a lot of the leaves have come off the trees since a couple of days ago. But I'm gonna set up and do some sketches. I've sat down to paint this scene here, and I think you'll be able to see, hopefully from the photo that I took the other day, a lot of the leaves have come off the trees, so I've kind of added them back in again. I was all prepared putting the mat down on the wet bench, but of course I put it on some wet moss and it's like seeped into this bit. I've got a bit of a wet bum. Well, I've now got my hat on because I was getting a bit chilly. I've now got this set up so that then I am sitting on the stool because the dampness was coming even through my mat, and I've got all of my colour pencils laid out on the bench next to me, which actually is going to work out a little bit better. Here are the sketches that I've done of this one scene. I did quite want to do the same scene over and over again because I don't tend to do that very often, and this is the last one that I've done, putting more of the leaves in. I don't like the reflection, so that's why I'm cropping it off, but I'm getting a little bit chilly, so it's time to have a little wander and head off somewhere else. I'm not sure in the viewfinder whether you can see the colours of those trees along there, but I have just sketched it really loosely and I really like the effect. Here is the sketch. If you watched last week's video on painting autumn leaves, this would be a perfect example of painting watercolour, because you've got 3 different colours there. You've got the yellow, the red and the green, so that would be ideal for wet and wet blending colours together. Sure I'm capturing how bright this tree is, because just look at it. it's just singing in the sunshine. Oh, back in the car. You can see how chilly I am. I've got a rosy nose, red nose, and I'm really pleased with the sketches that I've got done. It's 3:45 or something, and I got here at like 11:45. So for a small area, I've been here 4 hours, which is pretty good. If I could go to the bathroom standing up, I would probably have walked a little bit further. But I think it's time to go back and have a well-earned hot chocolate. Now I'm back at the studio. Just wanted to run through all the sketches that I did while I was at Big Waters. Really pleased with all of the work that I did, and I managed to get a little bit of a walk done as well. This is the first one, and to begin with I wasn't really happy with it, but then I let it dry and worked in another sketchbook, and came back to it, added a bit more detail. I'm not quite sure that I like this. Added a bit more detail to the leaves there, and then came back to it again, added some of the coloured pencil, and it didn't really work very well on here. I don't know if it's because the paper was still wet or whether it was because it was, even though it was sunny and it was fairly warm, I think there's like now a dampness in the air. So I don't know if the pages just hadn't dried completely properly. So some of the details on the coloured pencil didn't show up. I quite like the trunks, but I didn't really like the leaves. Another experiment, I used one of the pastel pencils because I haven't really used those very much since I bought them. And I just used the green. I like the way that it darkens. It's very dark, so you can put dark details on. Put the water over the top to kind of water it down. So I really like that effect. So yeah, that's ended up being really nice, apart from maybe that little bit. I did this one next while the other one was drying. I thought I would use the pen in my traditional kind of pen and watercolour sketch, and I did prefer this much better when I initially did it, before I did the work on the other work on that other one. Just really quick, sketchy. Later on I did write some little notes there because there was a little bit of space and of kind of the ambient sounds just from the whole afternoon. Then while that was drying, I decided to use some of the dry materials, and I've written here, not for me. It's too pale. Maybe if I took some of the darker pens, but again, the coloured pencil didn't really work as well with that. I don't know if it's because of the trees, the kind of marks that I had to make, or whether it was just too, I didn't like it. I might try it again at some point, but with like darker colours, but I didn't like it. The idea was that I would take all the light colours and then go over the top with the coloured pencil for detail, but like as you see, it didn't really work. So then I took my soft pastels, did water over the top, and that's much more successful. Maybe just getting the lights and the darks, it's very abstract. Might be quite a nice warm up, because I think the sketches did get better as I went on, and I'd like warmed up with the first one, so maybe that's a good kind of warm up. Although I do like doing the watercolour first, and then that can dry, and then I can be working on something else. Almost forgot this one that I did in my mixed media Dale Arowney book. I've only got a couple of pages left in here, and I wanted to do this scene. I liked the pen from the 12 by 12 sketchbook, and I wanted to do it on this paper because this is slightly different, and I don't like the reflection. I think that's going to look so much better if it wasn't there, but I think I will paint this scene again. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 5 renditions of this, and I think I'm going to use those sketches to actually do a finished painting of this. When I got there, compared to last week, a lot of the leaves had actually fallen from the trees, so I've kind of put more in here than there was, but then I've put even more in here, and I think I quite like them being full, so as if they were last week or the week before the leaves had all fallen. So yeah, gonna try that and see how it goes. after sitting for a little while, had a bit of lunch as well, I decided to go for a little wander and a walk, and I carried this in my pocket because it is just so lovely to put in my pocket. And there were some lovely trees on a hedge line that were very green in the middle and then just going to the yellow colours on the tips. So that is with no pen, no pencil, nothing. It's just literally the paper, and I'm really pleased with that. Love this one as well. Again, no pencil, no pen, just a row of trees along the field, and really pleased with how that turned out. The last sketch that I did was this one. I just wanted to do something kind of precise and detailed, a little bit like this ivy one that I did a little while ago. And this tree was just, when the sun came out, it was just singing with the sunshine. So that's why I've put that little note on there. Didn't get the shape of the tree quite right, but you can't see the tree, so that's fine. But I really like that, just like the delicate touches. I hope you enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed doing a different rendition of the same scene. Which is something that I don't really do when I'm out and about sketching, because I tend to do one scene, have a walk to find another scene and do that. Other than the Shafto Crags, I did the same scene, but I did it from different angles, so that's not quite the same. But yeah, hopefully in the days, weeks to come, I will actually do a painting from that, and I will share that in a future video. But if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I shall see you in the next one. Bye!